So I'm Steve Hall and I'm here with Laura LaJoie. Tell me a little bit about what caused you to get into chiropractic medicine.
Wow. Well, the main thing is I've wanted to be a doctor since I was 8 years old, and I was headed for med school for years, and I realized that I didn't want to just see my patients when they needed drugs or surgery. I wanted to see them not just from the pain process, but also into the wellness process. So about half of my practice is people that are on wellness care, that are looking for a better quality of life. The rest are people that are coming in pain, and they're looking for less pain, more comfort. And I just love what I do. I can see babies from, well, my youngest is 4 days old, up to 98 years old, and everything in between. So we can see people all the way through their health process.
Fantastic. So why is health so important to you and your patients?
Well, health is important to me fundamentally because my family has a lot of longevity. I've seen most of my grandparents and aunts and uncles grow into their 80s and 90s. And so I know the importance of having a good quality health for your whole life, not just the time that you're living right now. And so that's been my main motivator. Also because I've seen children that are prescribed Zantac or Adderall or Ritalin at a very young age, and kids are not deficient in drugs. Typically there's something wrong with their nutrition or their physical body, or they're having some impairment on their nervous system that needs to be addressed. And so I know that with chiropractic, it's not the only thing, but it's one of the things that can help to improve their quality of life and health forever. And then they don't have to become one of those adults that has poor posture, headaches, low back pain, chronic injury, chronic problems. We can do something that makes them feel better all the time because they're in control of their health.
Okay. Talk to me about quality of health, quality of life.
Quality of life and health to me means that you have the ability to do the things you want to do at any stage of life because your body will allow you to, because your mental state will allow you to. That can be nutrition driven, it can be exercise driven. Often we have small injuries that occur out of nowhere. You trip on the sidewalk, you fall off your bike as a kid out of a tree, or getting out of your car, you wrench your back when you're trying to lift a box or groceries. And your quality of life is something that allows you to continue to do the things that you want to do. When my friends call me up and say, hey, can you play softball tonight? And I haven't played in a year, I still know that I can get out there and play because I've taken care of my body over that year. I know that from a day-to-day basis, when there's 168 hours in a week, and you sleep approximately 70 hours a week, you still have 100 hours of time that you need to spend working, eating, doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis. And it only takes 10 minutes a day, roughly 1 hour out of 168 hours in a week, to create a better quality of life by intentionally, purposefully stretching, by purposefully strengthening your body, increasing your flexibility, and maintaining things that are going to help to have a healthy mind. It also improves the quality of our relationships because when you feel better, you're not as cranky, you're not as upset. You get to have a happier mental state because you physically feel better. You know, if I could give people one day of pure joy, of pure health, of quality of life, then I've done my job. And I can't tell you how many people that come in here and all of a sudden they feel better. You know, we had our fun in the park on Saturday, and one of the people that I got to adjust was Buttons the Clown. You know, he's in his 60s, he's got tingling and numbness down his arm. I had the table set out there, so I was able to have him lay down, and I put on his hat, and he laid on the table, and I was able to make him feel better. Halfway through the day, he was able to perform better for those children because I was able to take some of the stress off of his physical body. Had another woman come up to me that I hadn't seen before, and she says, well, I have a hip pointer, I don't know if you can help me. I said, yeah, come over here, lay down on the table. And I didn't even do anything other than stretch her out, find the problem, fix the trigger point. She got up off the table, oh my gosh, I don't have any pain. You know, now she can go back and carry her 2-year-old on her hip all day because now the pain isn't there. Another patient came by that I adjusted her baby when the baby was 2 weeks old. Now she's 10 months old. She's learning how to walk. She's arching her back. She's popping all the time. And the mom says, well, can you do anything? Well, of course I can. So I take the baby in my arms. I feel her spine. I look at her. I give her some small adjustments. Hand her back to the mom. amazing the way that we can realize the life force that people are capable of having.
Fantastic. So that's where I see you get joy from your profession.
Totally. I mean, I've seen miracles. One of my favorite miracles that I've been able to see in my practice, and I call it a miracle because I just helped to turn the life force back on. But we had a baby that came in that was 3 weeks old that had been prescribed Zantac because she had this reflux all the time. And the mom had never held the baby for more than 20 minutes since she was born because she was so uncomfortable that she would cry all the time. So the mom brings the baby in and I check her. She's got some trigger points along her diaphragm. I'm able to do some muscle work with that. She's got some subluxation in her spine at T6, which directly affects the stomach. Those nerves address the stomach. So, I adjusted the spine. I adjusted the upper cervical spine because there was some dysfunction in here. She had had a traumatic birth. They had traction the head and neck when they brought her up. Birth is a traumatic process. So I adjusted the baby, handed her to the mom. The mom goes into the back of the clinic for about an hour and she feeds her and she's back there for a while and I got worried. So finally she came out and the mom was just in tears. And I said, is everything okay? And she said, yeah, it's perfect. It's the first time she was born that I've held her for more than 20 minutes without her crying. So cool.
That is so cool. Fantastic. So we've talked about some of the younger people in your practice. How about some of the older people that you've worked with?
Well, some of the older people are just amazing. I mean, I've got some people that are in their 80s and 90s that walk a mile every day, that come in here because this is part of their wellness. We have a lot of people that are, at some point they were prescribed blood pressure medicine or heart medicine or diabetes medicine, and in many cases we've been able to take the nutritional component, put that on top of the exercise component, layer that on top of the chiropractic component, which is musculoskeletal, physical, neurologic, and we've been able to help those people to have a better quality of life. So my oldest patient was 98. She was amazing. The only reason she stopped coming is because they moved her out of state into a place closer to her family. But I see so many people that come in here because they know that this is part of their health care. I'm not here for sick care in so many cases because people understand that if they wait until a problem exists, they've waited too long. And we can help to identify problems before they truly become a healthcare issue. I'd like to invite you to contact me so that we can talk about your healthcare concerns. It's very important that you deal with things as they come up. If we can figure out what the problem is today, instead of having to deal with a bigger problem down the road, it's going to save you time and money, and it's going to improve your quality of life and health overall. So come and see us as soon as possible.